Right, excellent. We're on. Hi, and welcome to another edition of winemastery.co.uk. And I nearly said that in one breath. My name's John Lightford, and this is
John Murphy.
I thought I'd get that. I didn't mention it in part one. Anyway, this is episode 13, part 2. We're giving John a sort of blind tasting, and one of these wines, the three wines, part 1, part 2, part 3, one of them is his wine that he stocks in the shop, and the other wine is from Tesco's, and the other wine is from Sainsbury's. They're all priced around about £10, and we're seeing if John can actually taste, one, his own wine, and two, what he thinks, if he can deter his own wine, what he thinks of the other wines in terms of their quality. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next one. So...
Sauvignon number 2.
Sauvignon number 2. Okay,
now I'm not going to make a guess until I have tasted all three, but I'm fairly confident in saying like the number one wasn't mine. Or something that I would sell. If I said in part 1 about the kind of the price for £10, I didn't think it was that brilliant. And again, this is not to put down supermarkets, but it is to kind of help you find your independent and get somebody who's passionate about the wine, as opposed to somebody, the supermarkets. Basically, they're just putting the stuff on the shelf. They just want to sell it, don't they? They've got a space, and they need to make X amount of money from that space. I'm not so sure, they're that interested in the product. I hope I'm not going to get sued for saying.
No, I think it probably, and it's all a personal view, isn't it? And I think that maybe even if people were to start, because a lot of us do buy, I myself included, do buy wine from the supermarket, and if it's everyday wine, that's fine. But maybe when you want something special, you start off with an independent, and then after perhaps you've built a relationship with them and you trust what they're telling you, you actually might start spending more of your wine money with them.
And to be fair, like the supermarket has done the wine trade good. I mean, back in up to like 25 years ago, not everybody drank wine, and nowadays nearly everybody has drinks wine or has a bottle of wine in nearly everybody's house, and that is down to the supermarkets. They started bringing it through on a larger scale. It was like an everyday thing then. People were buying up the wine. But then what we've tend to find is people will buy the wine from the supermarkets for a very long time, but they get a little bit disappointed because, and I've said this before, Kenny, and I'm not being awful, but a lot of it can be much of a muchness. Whether you pay £5 for it or £15 for it, it does it pleases the masses. Whereas if you come to your independent, we'll find something, something that you're really gonna think is awful. But on the flip side of that, we're gonna find something that you're really gonna love, and we'll try and pull that information out of you to get the wine that you're going to love, and that is where we try to excel. I mean, I think it was some famous chef that said his favourite customer is not the customer that comes and spends the most money, but the customer that comes in and wants to try different things. And there is nothing more pleasing than when a customer does come in and you've sold them a wine, and like they'll come in a few days later and they'll come back and say, "Oh, that was delicious. What's next? Because then they get enthusiastic about it, and it's really nice to get that, and it's really pleasing for us. And I enjoy
Makes
that.
it worthwhile.
Definitely.
Well, this one smells, well, should I say, using your terms, the nose is completely different to me.
Yes, it is. See, that's not mine.
Is it not?
No, that's not mine.
You sure?
That's not. Yeah, I'm very sure. I think that's.
You're really sure?
Yeah. For a Sauvignon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's very flowery. Very flowery.
I must admit, the other one did. The one in part 1 did smell much more like a Sauvignon. This
doesn't have that sharpness.
No.
See, I
this is cheating, just doing it on the nose.
I struggle.
If I'm not leading you down a garden path, of course.
Almost like it smells like honeyed sweetness there as well, which just shouldn't be there. Again, the initial flavour. It's not as sharp as it's not as sharp as a Sauvignon or a Sauvignon that I would expect. It's a lot softer. Yeah. It doesn't have that pack that get you around the kind of cheeks there, where it nips in there. So yeah, it's got a little bit of that peary flavour in there, but also that, like I said, that honeyed. It almost comes across as a touch of honeyed sweetness, which doesn't have that really dry edge. Which again, Sauvignon's known for being a dry wine, or it should be. So that I wouldn't typically. Which country did you get these from? So interesting.
England. You're going to drive over to France.
No. I mean, God. Oh, let me get my breath back. I meant. Which country did the Sauvignons come from?
I'll tell you what we're doing. We're doing a part 4.
Okay.
We'll just review what the bottles are, and we'll talk about that then, because I didn't look.
Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, but that's actually quite an interesting one because, yeah, this has got to come. Yeah.
Come from?
It's got to be somewhere warmer. This Sauvignon, it's got to be. Oh, I would say
England.
You're definitely warmer than England, but it doesn't have that. No. I mean, again, apple as well. There's a bit of apple. Okay, a nice green apple. That's in there. But again, there's nothing. There's no length on there. Again, there's not real. And again, coming back to it, I am fairly confident in saying that this one isn't mine as well, purely because for £10. I couldn't confidently sell this to you or anybody else. Say, there's £10 worth of Sauvignon, go for it. And I wouldn't if I had this, and that's what we one of the good things about our job as well is we often get to go out to lots and lots of tastings, around the country. Unfortunately, I've not been to France or anywhere yet. Not yet. But I mean, we
anyone
go to.
Who wants to invite him?
Yeah, feel free. But no, we get to go to so many tastings as well, and so we get to know our product very well. And also, we were given sheets, and we go out, while we're doing these tastings, we have to mark them, and it's very difficult, very intricate, really. And if I was given this and told that this was going to be recommended retail at £10. I would not buy it. It's something I would say, no, I couldn't sell that. I couldn't confidently sell that at £10. Now I'm saying this, but it's not mine. But we shall see. No, again, I can't put it down as such. But I describe that as flabby.
Yeah, and I think as we said in part 1 that it may be just right for somebody.
Oh yeah,
maybe their taste, and there's something wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong. No? It's very easy drinking, but that's something that, because there's nothing really to back it up, that flavour, I'd just be supping away at that, just going.
Yeah, you wouldn't be savouring it. You'd be quaffing it.
But again, good all-rounder. It's inoffensive, and that's without putting them out the supermarkets down, that's what they excel at, the kind of inoffensive stuff, which, is just okay. Not brilliant, not bad.
Yeah, middle of the road. Okay. Well, we're going to see if you're right, and we're not going to actually. We're going to do it part 4. We're going to say which one it is.
Okay.
We'll look at the labels and everything, where they're from.
Right.
In England. Where do you expect me to buy it from?
You remember which is one? Okay, fine.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Okay. See you in part 3.
Chin chin.
Cheers.
England. Why did you even ask that question?